To kick off this afternoon's program, it is my great honor to introduce our first guest. Please join me in welcoming Kathy Hochul, the 57th Governor of New York. Governor Hochul has the distinction of being the first woman in New York State history to hold this office and the first governor from upstate New York in more than a century. Throughout her tenure, she has championed bold initiatives to tackle the affordability crisis, implement comprehensive gun safety reforms, and expand housing access statewide. Governor Hochul has also emerged as a national leader on critical issues, including protecting abortion rights and implementing mental health services. Under her leadership, New York has solidified its reputation as a global powerhouse, spearheading innovation in high-tech chip manufacturing and AI. A Buffalo native, lifelong public servant, and proud supporter of the Buffalo Bills, Governor Hochul embodies the resilience and forward-thinking spirit of New York. Let's give a warm, warm welcome to Governor Kathy Hochul.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. After all that, I'm also the first governor of this state to fully embrace AI, so put that on my resume as well. I'm so happy to welcome you. Welcome to the city that is the home of the most creative, the most ambitious innovators, the dreamers and the doers, and what I'm proud to call the tech talent capital of the world. Now, whether you're a New Yorker or a New Yorker wannabe, everybody's one or the other, you all understand that the guiding principle of this conference, of this gathering, is so critically important. We all agree, as I said in my State of the State address last year, AI is the future, and the future is now. And I want to thank Tricia Martinez, the Managing Director of Techstars AI, and I have my own New York State Chief Information Officer, Drew Rye, here as well. Drew, take a bow. And I want to thank all the organizers of this. Yeah, give Drew give him a special round of applause. All of our sponsors, especially IBM. I was at the expansion of your offices a short time ago, extraordinary. Well, let me say this. It was almost 2 months ago to the day where I went to upstate New York, the University of Buffalo, University at Albany, to announce that New York State had taken the first steps of the longest strides of any state in the nation into a tomorrow that is defined by possibility. I unveiled 2 supercomputers more powerful than had ever been in public hands in the history of this great country. And as I saw those massive boxes begin to hum and whirl, I knew that New York had shown the world that when it comes to the AI revolution, we fully intend to lead the way. Now, I don't need to tell the people in this room what AI can do, what it can deliver. But I do want to tell you how the great state of New York intends to harness it. Last January, when I unveiled my State of the State address, I announced a new consortium, an ambition faster than anyone anticipated, something we call Empire AI, unlike any project in our entire nation. It is a 10-year, $400 million partnership between the state of New York, the private sector, and our academic institutions, not only to stand at the forefront of AI innovation, but to do something spectacular, set a model of how AI can be used for public good. Now, until those supercomputers came online, that technology, that advance, had largely been concentrated only in the hands of the mega corporations, many of them represented here today, Google, Microsoft, IBM, and OpenAI. I know you all want to improve the world, and I expect you to, and that's great. But there's also a profit motive behind it, right? That's fine, it's capitalism. But with Empire AI, I asked a question that we hope the industry and other states will ask as well. What if AI could be harnessed for public good and leave behind a fairer, healthier, more efficient society for our children to inherit? Now, we know the countless ways that AI can change the world. It already is. It can tackle food insecurity. It can help us develop new therapies for cancer. It can modernize and equalize our healthcare system and even predict dangerous storms. And I say that as someone who's heading up to Buffalo tonight to help manage the response to yet another massive storm from lake effect snow. I'd like to have earlier indicators. In fact, I'd like AI to figure out how to just stop it altogether, but that's not likely to happen. But our research is already making a difference on projects to help our farms run more sustainably, how to wield the power of nuclear energy and radically improve patient care. Now, these are not small advancements. They're the kind of changes that I'm looking for as the governor, to make real changes in the lives of our citizens, help them buy more for less money, eat better food, live longer. And make no mistake, the other states are noticing. Just last week, I was in California. Have you all heard of California? It's great. I was on a panel of other governors. Tim Walz was there, talking about our cybersecurity, leading the nation in our efforts to protect our businesses, our citizens, our economy, protect democracy at the end of it all. But I also talked about what we're doing in AI here. And I will say this, as I was speaking to the governor, my friend, and many others, they're very impressed with what we're doing with Empire AI, and I encourage them to do something similar. AI imitation is certainly the most sincere form of flattery. But let me tell you, bringing this idea to our state legislature, those of you who are New Yorkers, it wasn't easy. In fact, it was a high-risk, high-reward opportunity. It was a gamble, and getting it through was no cakewalk. But I took that gamble because I believe with all my heart that New York has always been that cradle of innovation. And since becoming governor, I've seen a rebirth in innovation and technologies and high-tech development across the state. Just yesterday, the federal government approved $6 billion so we can incentivize Micron to build the semiconductor chips over the next 20 years, not here in the city, but in upstate New York. This is the largest private sector investment in American history going on right now. So Micron and legacy companies like Global Foundries and IBM, TTM Technologies, they're all fostering an ecosystem of incredible explosive growth. And in so doing, we're transforming communities in every corner of this state. So the future of tech does not just reside in New York City. No matter how much it's flourishing, it's here, and this is where people want to be. It's thriving in our small towns and on college campuses where, because of Empire AI, I can attract the smartest students, the PhD candidates who want to have access to something that they would not otherwise have until they go to the private sector. That's not happening anywhere else, my friends. And we're going to continue using these technologies and creating jobs, upstate, rural areas. Instead of blight and neglect, I'm building supercomputers, companies, innovators. And I know that the decisions we make and the agenda we pursue will define that landscape for generations to come. Now, let me just finish with this. I knew I needed the best and brightest to help guide me on this path. We took that gamble last year. We won. It's successful. Empire AI is already underway. But I also know that it's more than just this. To realize my vision, I asked IBM and the Girls Who Code to form an independent group of leaders, New York's first ever Emerging Tech Advisory Board. It's chaired by two brilliant CEOs, IBM's Arvind Krishna and Tarika Barrett from Girls Who Code. Both of them know a thing or two about how to succeed in this world of tech. and how to empower those who don't ordinarily get a chance. I don't think it's a radical observation to say it's been a world dominated by white men. I want to democratize it, diversify it, because as I saw as I went to a graduation of Girls Who Code a few years ago, young women, girls, who otherwise would never have found their way to this but for this program, they innovated some apps and technologies to help teenage girls deal with the mental health crisis. They had an app that would take them to a more positive place, uplifting messages. When I saw that, I said, their voices are missing from this conversation. They're innovating solutions to problems that others may not even know exist. We must seize this moment. And that's exactly what we've done. They've been working on a set of recommendations. I look forward to announcing those. And we're going to continue working with the private sector. Because as we've seen, with massive upheavals of the past, when the pace of growth is so unprecedented, and you know this, you're seeing this, I have to make sure that traditionally underrepresented groups are not left behind. Help me achieve that as well in your recruiting and training, and as we change the curriculum in schools all over the state, which is exactly what we're doing, to prepare young people to be your employees someday. Prepare them for the great paying jobs and the opportunities. So instead of just the largest companies getting ahead, I want this to be a place of innovation and incubators, the small companies that will rise up someday, and lifting up them, the rising tide lifting up all. And in traditional businesses, industries like manufacturing, we'll continue leading, not just in supporting them, but in those startups, and lift up the next generation of the jobs tomorrow, making sure we have the workers ready for you. I want to thank you all for coming. We're proud to set the pace. We always have and always will with our partners on the West Coast, because I believe that innovation and AI in New York can and must be ethical and responsible. You agree with me, and you also have tremendous power to make sure that that happens. So let's do it together. Enjoy your stay here in the great city of New York, and thank you for being the leaders as we charge into tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone.